Hello guys, Shadow7 here, and today I'm doing another episode of my Amphibia reviews. Today guys, I'm going to be reviewing another episode of Amphibia, which is now probably my favorite episode of the whole series. I know my Brawley said that after last episode this would be all serious, and it really did. I love how the show did this. I think it's very well done. Also, the episode was released on YouTube very early, so, I had to do it right afterwards, guys. The three armies at the beginning and end. So, let's get into it. So, the three armies is mostly about the conflict of Anne bringing the newts, toads, and frogs together, as it even starts when the newts and toads, such as Chatonia and Beatrix, are coming to meet with them all to strategize for plans. Everyone there at the moment feels like it's risky because of their horrible history. I think this is well seen throughout the series, as whenever there are newts, toads, or frogs together, you can never see them fully getting along. But after a long talk about this, Sasha gets worried, and Anne reminds her that back in middle school, she helped join up the band kids and the track kids to go to the school dance. To this, Anne says she's a great mediator and is ready to help settle the conflict between these three sides. All three of the armies are here, and guess what they do? They start fighting. Hop Up this episode acts as like a leader of the frogs, which is really nice because I think he does a good job of it, while Beatrix and Chatonia act as the leader of the toads and newts, respectively. Now, I'm going to be going through this episode a bit quickly because the second one's a really heavy one. Because this episode, pretty much normal formula. Anne tries to come up with strategies, but none of them care. Chatonia just wants to do the same orphan trick, Beatrix just wants to rush in, and Hop Up won't even be allowed to talk. And this really shows the hierarchy, because it's always been like toads at the middle, newts at the very top, and frogs at the very bottom. But seeing how these two sides can argue, but then they both can come down on Hop Hop, really shows that. Either way, you should watch the episode, guys. It's on YouTube. But long story short, nothing works. Anne even tries doing some exercises she learned at summer camp, but they still don't get along. The interesting part is, guys, after the three armies almost fight each other with weapons, Anne ends up going blue form, but not just that, full blue form, leaves in her hand all. She knocks all the armies away and tells them when they're ready to come together and talk strategy, she'll be there. And I think you guys know how it goes. They all ended up coming together, coming up with a plan that they'll rush the fort and a small group will go behind, try and steal the music box. And that is pretty much all, guys, for the three armies. Now it's time for the beginning of the end. A very interesting, probably the episode that carries. It's not to say the other one is bad, but it's to say this one is much, much, much better. We start off with a flashback of Anne, Sasha, and Marcy watching a movie. Even though, Marcy's really into the movie, it seems neither Sasha nor Anne are really interested. Them even falling asleep during it, which apparently has happened a lot, as Marcy continues to watch the movie. Then the episode begins with Anne and Sasha reviewing all the battle strategies they talked about in the last episode. But then comes when Marcy starts coming up in the episode, hence the flashback. Sasha and Anne start talking about Marcy, but in different ways. Sasha feels like she can't get over the fact that she purposely brought her to Amphibia and the others without them knowing. And Anne, on the other hand, thinks it's time for forgiveness because they're not even sure if they can save their friendship. And the main reason that everyone's mobilizing today is because we learned from Mother Ohm, who actually crashes into their base, that the toads are planning to move to Earth today, and not in a few days. Apparently, Andreas has robot butlers now, but, that's fine. The three armies coming together finally make it to Andreas' base. They're forced to face many robots, but their large size and surprising power takes out most of them pretty easily. Meanwhile, the others are slipping back while Sasha and Anne are still arguing about what to do about their friendship. But then finally, Anne comes together, making Sasha realize that, including her, forgiving people is hard and it takes time, but it's definitely worth it. They all agree they're going to go save Marcy and save their friendship. And we're faced with our first obstacle, Olivia and Yunnan, both with those collars around their necks. So apparently this works for anyone. The mind control still works. And in sync, they end up pretty much destroying everyone, including Grime, Sasha, and Anne. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, we get one callback of the Mossman destroying a robot, and Wally saying to everyone that he was telling them that it was real. But then Andreas actually physically comes down to the battlefield to fight the whole army. along with a few robots. Meanwhile, while noticing the NSYNC, Anne and Sasha perform a dance they apparently used to do, and according to the arrows in the background, I feel like this may have been from a game, such as Dance Dance Revolution, and they are able to beat Olivia and Yunnan, knocking off their collars. Then they try and go to get Marcy in the music box. While Olivia tries to warn them that Marcy is no longer the same Marcy they knew, they believe they just mean like she's grown up and all. After realizing the music box they went to grab was a hologram and a fake, they finally come face to face with Darcy. I just say the scenes here, guys, are just beautiful. Darcy takes him on captive and makes some very interesting remarks, wondering if they were ever saying that she doesn't know if Marcy was ever friends, but again reinforcing the fact she's still locked in a compartment of the music box. And seeing as that leak online with Marcy, Anna, and Sasha dancing in the hallway still hasn't come out yet, I feel like that's either going to be another flashback or what Marcy sees in the core. Darcy takes all of the resistance leaders, including Olivia and Yunnan, out in the open, let everyone know that they've lost, and all the armies retreat, while Andrews jumps up to join Darcy. As you know, guys, I will not be referring to Darcy as the core for the moment. I just feel like keeping it Darcy because that's such a cool name, in my opinion. Darcy truly shows her logical skill at the moment by attempting to use this dagger to stab Anne. Right before the dagger can kill Anne, Anne tells her that by killing her, she may not return the energy to the stone, but otherwise, she may actually destroy the stone in the box. Like, it may lose all power completely. And because of this, Darcy goes into thought and realizes the core is not on a consensus. Because of this, Darcy agrees to keep Anne alive for now. The interesting thing is I love Darcy's character because it really shows how evil she is. She doesn't care, though, about Anne's well-being and decides to instead do a dissection alive. And on a very interesting note, guys, I mean, Darcy pretty much has Anne where they want and ready to invade the portal, but then you look at Andrews' expression, and it's very obvious to see that Andrews is not fully into this Darcy and Marcy being gone and Anne dying. It all comes here, guys, as we end with all of Andrews' forces making their way to Earth, and it to be continued. What did you think of these episodes, guys? I really, really liked it. If you want to be ready to see my surprise for the finale and my next week review, please like and subscribe, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I really love these episodes. Have a nice day.